Hello everyone, welcome to ShailajaIAS and welcome to the PYQ Decoder course. Today we are continuing with the class 3 of the geography. In the previous classes we saw important theme of geography with respect to physical geography, okay, the geomorphology and the important physical processes and important themes in that through PYQs we debunk the geography. Now in this class we will see the next theme. The next important theme is climatology and atmosphere. So climatology you will have with respect to Köppen classification of climates, the characteristics, weather versus climate, the pressure systems, the wind systems. In atmosphere, the structure of atmosphere, composition of atmosphere, okay, all these important themes becomes important. We'll see the micro themes where UPSC has asked questions in the last 5 years. Do remember these themes becomes very important, so focus on those themes and double down during your revision in the last 1 month with respect to these themes. Not only with respect to geography, you can check out other subjects with respect to polity, economy, history, which is already there in the YouTube playlist. So we'll continue. We'll start with the first question. So first question with respect to 2025 atmospheric composition, my friends. Okay, climate and atmosphere important units in geography, where one of the important theme is atmospheric composition asked in 2025. So with respect to dust particles in atmosphere, question has come. We'll see statement 1. The amount of dust particle in the atmosphere is more in subtropical and temperate areas than in equatorial and polar region. Is it right? Please comment in the YouTube comment section. Is it right? Yes. Dust particles is high in subtropical and temperate areas than equatorial, which is low, and polar regions. Why? Equatorial region, you have continuous rainfall. So rainfall condenses on the dust particles, whatever is there, and it will bring down the amount of dust particle. And in polar iso, you have ice and there are not much weather phenomenon or atmospheric phenomenon where dust particles are created. So statement 1 is correct. Now we will see statement 2. Subtropical and temperate areas have less dry winds. Wind system linked with geographical locations, linked with atmospheric composition, linked with, okay, what are the characteristics of dust particles and how they behave in atmosphere. So where are dry winds more? And dry winds are the ones which carry dust particles. If the winds were wet, had moisture, then they will coagulate the dust particles and they will reduce the dust particles. That is what happening in equatorial regions. Okay, the 0 degree to 10 degree region, north and south latitude. However, the dry winds will have dust particles. If subtropical and temperate areas have less dry winds, then they should have less dust particles. So statement 2 is directly contradicting and wrong statement. So statement 1 is correct, statement 2 is incorrect. Concept, interlinking concept with other units, other chapters in this topic, and application based, analysis based question is asked in UPSC. You know statement 1 is correct. Why? Because dry winds condition in subtropical desert lift more dust than humid region. Statement 2 is incorrect because subtropical area are actually characterized by extreme dry winds. Now question might come from which are the important dry winds in summer. Local winds, local dry winds. Okay, please put it in the comment section which are the important dry winds that are blown, that carry dust particles and dust storms, okay, in around the parts of the world including India. Okay, question might be coming from in 2026 with respect to this. Theme is atmospheric composition. Linked to that, questions will always be picked by UPSC because UPSC knows this is one of the important concept in geography and examiner is setting question in this concept. So question do occur again in this concept. So we'll see the next theme. Next important concept or theme with respect to heating and temperature variation. So we have two isotherm and isobars. What? These are the graphs linking the areas which have equal or this is with respect to temperature. Areas in the world where it has equal temperature. This is with respect to isobars is with respect to equal pressure. Areas around the world which has similar characteristics of pressure. So we'll see the statement here. In January, that is during winter, in January, in the northern hemisphere, isotherms, okay, the graphs connecting areas with equal temperature bend equatorward while crossing the land masses and poleward while crossing the oceans. So in January, what happens? Winter in the northern hemisphere. You should know concept of revolution, tilt of the earth. So northern hemisphere, it is in January, it is winter solstice, right? December, January period. So winter in the northern hemisphere. So land will cool fast. Land will cool. Land cools down. Temperature will drop down. So when temperature drop down, what happens? Normally, isotherms will bend equatorwards towards equatorwards while crossing the land masses. Correct? Because temperature is very less. And polewards while crossing the ocean. Temperature will normally be constant. So it will go towards polewards while crossing the oceans. This statement is absolutely correct. Factual. See, conceptual understanding is very important with respect to themes, concepts in the units of geography. Next, statement 2. In January, air over the ocean is warmer than that of land masses. Yes, in January, land cools very fast. However, the specific heat of ocean, that is the temperature required to heat or cool the ocean, is very high. So, air over the ocean will be warmer compared to the land masses in the northern hemisphere. And yes, that explains why statement 1, towards equator it is bending isotherm, and towards pole when crossing ocean isotherm is going towards pole. So statement 1 is correct and statement 2 is correct, and 2 explains statement 1, my friends. So in January, land is colder than ocean. Isotherm must bend towards lower latitude, okay, with similar temperature, because land is there towards, okay, lower latitudes, that is equator world. And to find warmer air, they have to go in the ocean towards poleward. So this explains statement 2 explains statement 1 here. Understood? This concept, heating and temperature concept linked with isotherms, isobars, becomes important. So we'll go to next question. Atmosphere and temperature. Okay, greenhouse effect, temperature inversion, all these concepts are important here. So note down this important micro themes and focus on those areas. Which of the following statements are correct? Asked in 2025. Without the atmosphere, temperature would be well below freezing point everywhere on the Earth's surface. Yes. Atmosphere is a blanket of air, mixtures of several components in the air, that is maintaining the temperature, okay, the pressure, as well as maintaining the life in the earth. So without that, it will be a freezing point. Okay, without it freezes, it can become like, okay, moon where there is no atmosphere. So severe cold and severe temperature rise can happen. Heat absorbed and trapped by the atmosphere maintains our planet's average temperature. Yes, heat budget. This is what we will say with respect to Earth's heat budget. It is normally constant. For thousands of years, lakhs of years, Earth has maintained the average temperature, its average temperature. Atmospheric gases like carbon dioxide are particularly good at observing and trapping radiation. Yes, carbon dioxide, water vapor, okay, all these are greenhouse gases. Methane, all these are greenhouse gases, and they will help to observe and trap the sun radiation. Okay, So both, all the three statements here are correct and explaining how atmosphere is maintaining the temperature and maintaining the heat in the earth, inside the earth, and maintaining that average temperature. So here all the statements, statement 1, 2 and 3 are correct. 2025 question, my friends. So if you know the concepts and if you're able to apply, it's easy. So we'll go to next question. Again in 2025, 5 questions has come from this unit itself. Okay, climate system and atmosphere. So with respect to wet bulb temperature and dry bulb temperature, measuring, right? Measuring of temperature linked with climate change. Concept linked with application. India could become one of the first places where wet bulb temperature. Let me know in comment section what is wet bulb and what is dry bulb temperature. What are its properties and applications, my friends? Properties and applications. So, one statement I've given, India would become one of the first places where wet bulb temperature routinely exceeds 35 degrees Celsius, World Bank. Yes, as of now, India is going through a extremely heat wave in this summer. So, this is dry bulb temperature, okay? When you don't have, with respect to, you should know the definition of what is wet bulb, what is dry bulb. So please put it in the comment section. Dry bulb also, you have so much of heat wave it is getting. Then with respect to wet bulb also, okay, where humidity also is measured. Terminologies becomes important. What is humidity, temperature, pressure, viscosity? Already I told you in the previous class. Make sure simple concepts are clear, simple terms are clear. So we'll see now. Which of the following statement based on this statement, okay, reflects the implications of the above said World Bank report? Are the statements true or wrong based on this World Bank report is the question. Peninsular India will likely suffer from flooding, cyclones and droughts. Okay, will likely. Not that peninsular must or should, will suffer, will likely suffer. Okay, possibility. Okay, UPSC option can be B or both A and B. But with last 5-6 years trend, whenever there is a possibility asked with UPSC, yes, it is possible. I am going with the possible. The survival of animals, including humans, will be affected as shedding of their body heat through perspiration becomes difficult. Yes. How? Our body puts the heat outside through sweating, through evaporation, through humidity, through wet bulb temperature. If it crosses 35 degrees Celsius, we will stop sweating. When we stop sweating, our body will fail to put the heat out of our body. Okay, from inside to outside, it will not be able to transfer the heat through perspiration, through sweating. This statement is also technically, factually correct. So, what is the answer here, my friends? Possibility is given. If it is mandatory, it will be 2 only. Since possibility is given, it is both 1 and 2. Conceptual clarity and application of the question. 35 degrees is the survivability limit because perspiration fails. You can't sweat. The World Bank report also links to wider climatic instability with respect to floods, cyclones, including in peninsular India. It has spoken in the report about this topic. So it is correct. It has been directly taken from the World Bank report. So both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct. Even if you don't know, whenever there is possibility asked, you err with the correct statement. Okay, whenever you go with the correct statement whenever there is a possibility asked, because yes, it is possible. If 35 degree wet bulb temperature increases, then there might be change in atmospheric condition which might lead to floods, okay, droughts, all this, heat wave, all this can happen. Next, we'll quickly go through, see the important things from now 2024 with respect to again solar radiation, heat budget, atmospheric heating and its mechanism. Question has been asked again. See, Last year also, this year also, out of 5 questions, 1 question came with respect to atmospheric heating. The atmosphere is heated more by incoming solar radiation than by terrestrial radiation. Is it right, my friends? Is it right? No, atmosphere is not heated by incoming radiation, first of all, not more by incoming solar radiation, but by terrestrial radiation. Based on this concept only, in the last 3 years, 3 questions have come, my friends, based on atmospheric heating only. Atmosphere is heated more by terrestrial radiation and less by incoming solar radiations. You can see the swap. UPSC ka favorite trap is swapping. Swapping concept. You should know the concept and you will be able to see how UPSC very intelligently swaps it. So, atmosphere is heated more by terrestrial radiation than incoming solar radiation. Okay, with respect to, you should know which clouds traps and which clouds reflect. Okay, which wavelength of infrared rays is trapped and which is sent back. That also you have to know. Statement 2. Carbon dioxide, so if statement 1 is wrong, you can directly come to the answer D. However, we'll see the second statement also. Carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases in the atmosphere are good observers of long wave radiation. So, wavelength is inversely proportional to frequency. Lambda is wavelength, wavelength ka symbol. Wavelength is inversely proportional to frequency. Carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases in the atmosphere are good observer of long wave radiation. Okay? Long wave radiation, which is the heat wave. It is infrared, right? IR waves, infrared waves. Yes, statement 1 is wrong, so we could get the answer directly. But if statement 1 also was right, then this you have to know whether this is right or wrong. Okay, you need to have clarity with respect to these concepts. So the atmosphere is transparent to short wave solar radiation but heated from below by outgoing terrestrial long wave radiations, which are not transparent to clouds will block this long wave terrestrial radiation and that heats the Earth's atmosphere. So statement 1 is false and statement 2 is correct. Understood? I hope this has been clear. Again, go through these concepts properly, understand each concepts properly, each terms properly. Questions are coming every year on that topic. Next, 2024. Atmospheric layers, structure of atmosphere, layers of atmosphere question has come. Thickness of the troposphere at the equator is much greater as compared to pole. So you know the atmosphere, right? Troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere. Okay. In mesosphere you have ionosphere. Okay. Then exosphere. You have thermosphere also. Okay. In mesosphere. So we'll see. Yes, thickness of the troposphere at the equator is much greater as compared to poles. Yes, this statement 1 is correct. At the equator, heat is transported to great heights. Troposphere is where much of the Earth's atmosphere is there and much of the Earth's activity, terrestrial activity, life happens in troposphere. And air is there in only troposphere mainly. Okay. And it is highest at the equator because at the equator heat is more, moisture is more, so atmospheric height, tropospheric height, atmosphere height, which is also troposphere height, is greater, and also there are strong convectional current, right, equatorial convectional current that carry and widens the troposphere in equator. In equator you have long troposphere around 15 to 18 kilometers. Here it can be as short as 6 to 7 kilometers. So ozone holes also occurs in north and south poles and not equatorial. Why? Let me know in comment section. The thickness of troposphere is more in equator and less in polar. That is because of high moisture, high liquidity, high heat and high convectional current bulging the atmospheric troposphere. So statement 1 is right, 2 is correct and 2 is explaining statement 1. I hope this concept is clear. We'll go to next question. Again, with respect to isotherm, my friends, asked in 24, isotherm asked in 2025. Themes do gets repeated. See, here is the live example. Heat budget, atmospheric layers, isotherm. These three concepts asked in 24, again asked in 2025. Isothermal map, we'll see. Which of the following is our correct inferences from isothermal maps in the month of January? Winter, right? Winter in the northern hemisphere, summer in the southern hemisphere. Isotherms deviate to north over the ocean and south over the continent. Yes, towards equator, continent, because temperature of the land drops more than the ocean. This statement is correct, which we saw in 2025 question also, okay, in the previous slides. The presence of cold ocean currents, Gulf Stream, see, Gulf Stream is a warm, linking ocean currents with the isothermal mapping. North Atlantic drift, again warm. North Atlantic Ocean colder currents and the isotherms bend towards the north. No, not Gulf Stream is not cold ocean current. If you know cold and warm ocean current and there are contradictory statement, you can put this statement as wrong directly and you can go with one option. Why statement 2 is wrong? Gulf Stream, North Atlantic drift are warm currents that make the ocean warmer than land at the same latitude in January. So it doesn't bend to, so it bend towards not because of cold, okay? And there is contradiction of cold and warm ocean current, okay? So here this two contradictory statement, okay, will make the statement 2 wrong. So here answer is 1 only. Again, the theme is repeated with respect to January. Isotherm only was asked in 25, again asked in 24. Atmospheric composition, asked in 25. It was also asked in, my friends, 2024. Water vapor. With reference to water vapor, which of the following statement is correct? It is a gas, the amount of which decreases with altitude. Yes. Water vapor is a gas, H2O in gaseous form, right? And as you go in the atmosphere, the quantity will reduce. Its percentage is maximum at the poles. Again, he asked in last slides in 2025, where humidity is high, where liquid is there more. Okay, it is at equator. So it will be more at equator than poles. Poles, okay, it is in solid form or more in ice form. Where it is more in gaseous form, where convectional current happen, where high clouds are formed, it is in equator. So its percentage is maximum at equator and less at poles. So statement 2 is correct, wrong, and statement 1 is correct. So answer is 1 only. So factually, directly it is wrong. Water vapor is maximum in humid tropic, equator and tropic region 4% and minimum at poles less than 1%. Okay. Here holds very little moisture, cold air, and warm air, convectional currents in a equator and tropic of Cancer holds maximum water vapor. I hope this is clear. Climate classification, okay. 2024 asked. So these are the statements given. Annual and daily range of temperature is low. Precipitation occurs throughout the year. These are equatorial climate also same. However, precipitation varies between 50 centimeter to 250 centimeter is a distinct, okay, characteristics of marine west coast climate. Do let me know in comment section where are these regions in continents. Marine west coast. Okay, these two are typical of equatorial region, okay, equatorial climate also, but rainfall will be more than 250 centimeter and every day rainfall will occur after afternoon period during evening. So here answer is marine west coast climate asked in 2024. I hope this has been clear. Next, Coriolis force, okay, one of the important wind system asked in UPSC. So wind systems become very important. Okay, the permanent winds, the local winds, in the permanent winds, jet streams, geostrophic winds, all this becomes important. The imaginary force which becomes real when there is velocity and when you move towards poles. Okay, with respect to winds, Coriolis force dynamics, its characteristics has been asked in UPSC time and again. With reference to Coriolis force, which of the following statement is correct? It increases with increasing wind velocity. Yes, I told you already here. And it is maximum at poles and is absent at equator. Yes, with polewards it is maximum and at equator at 0 degree it is nil. So both statement 1 and 2 are typical characteristics of Coriolis force. It is proportional to sine of the latitude. Sine 0 is 0, sine 90 it is maximum at 90 degree, that is at polewards, and increases with speed of moving wind. With respect to velocity, Coriolis force also increases. Next question. Now with respect to summer solstice, and this is rotation of Earth and revolution of the Earth. In 2024, with respect to Earth-Sun relationship with respect to rotation, revolution, how it affects climate, what affects day and night, all these are asked on June 21 every year. So we have March, June, September, December. March you have summer solstice in northern hemisphere. Sorry, it is equinox, equal day and equal night. Here also equinox. In January, December, January you have northern hemisphere summer solstice. Here northern hemisphere winter solstice. Ulta in the southern hemisphere. On January 21 every year, on June 21 every year, which of the following latitudes experience sunlight more than 12 hours? In June, that is northern hemisphere, sun will be hitting directly. Summer in the northern hemisphere it is summer solstice. That is beyond Arctic Circle, light will be there day and night 24 hours for 6 months in the beyond Arctic Circle in the northern pole. So Arctic Circle will definitely get more than 12 hours. Also Tropic of Cancer also will be getting more than 12 hours. So 2 and 4. Tropic of Capricorn will be getting less than 12 hours. Equator also will not be getting more than 12 hours. Maximum is it can get 12, but since a tilt is there, it will be getting less than 12 hours. So 1 and 3 are wrong, 2 and 4 are 2 pairs are correct, asked in my friends 2024. On June 21, all northern hemisphere places have more than 12 hours. Equator is exactly 12. Capricorn and Antarctic Circle, all these are less than 12. So these are not answer. Answer is above equator regions of latitude. So 2 and 4 here. Next, again with respect to heat balance and with respect to heat radiation, infrared radiation, again asked in 23, my friends. See, do themes get repeated? Yes. Concepts, if you have clarity, you can answer, because question he might twist, he might change, but concepts are the same. If you have understood it, you can answer any type of question examiner frames. With reference to Earth's atmosphere, which of the following statements is correct? Insolation at equator is 10x that of poles. Is it 10x? Infrared constitutes 2/3 of insolation. Infrared waves are largely absorbed by water vapor in the lower atmosphere. This is a fact which we know. In the lower atmosphere, infrared waves are absorbed, largely absorbed by the water vapor, the lower clouds. Infrared waves are part of visible spectrum. No. Visible rays, different. This is infrared after red. Okay. So water vapor and CO2 in the lower atmosphere are primary observer of long wave radiation, which we already saw in the 2025-2024 question. Okay. Insolation is mostly short wave. So this is wrong. Not 2/3. This statement is factually right. He has asked which of the following is the right, and this is not visible spectrum. So statement 3 is correct here. C, option C is correct. Again, with respect to heating and temperature, question has been asked. My friends, if you see, the concept is getting repeated. Temperature contrast between the continents and oceans is greater during summer than in winter. Is it true? It is greater during winter than summer. Temperature difference. Temperature contrast is temperature difference. Why? In winter, land cools very fast than ocean. So in summer, land and ocean temperature might be, the difference might be same, but in winter, the difference gets very large. So typical swapping of UPSC here. Swapping trap, my friends, which I already told you, given here. So temperature contrast between continent and ocean is greater during winter than summer. So statement 1 is wrong. If statement 1 is wrong, directly you will come to option D. We'll see statement 2 also. Why? Because specific heat of water is more than that of land surface. Yes, the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of water by 1 degree is specific heat is more for water compared to land. If the statement was given ulta, then it would have been A. Both 1 and 2 are correct, and 2 is explaining statement 1. Since statement 1 is swapped, so 1 is wrong, 2 is correct. I hope this is clear again. If you see the questions from the last 5 years, 3-4 questions are coming every year and they're revolving around the same themes. Okay, so please focus on these themes, double down during revision. Again, Earth Sun relationship asked in 22, it was asked in 23. In Northern Hemisphere, the longest day of the year normally occurs in the, so we know June 21st or 22nd. So that is in second half of June, right? March equinox, September equinox, June 2021st is the Northern Hemisphere. Okay, here December 20 or 21st is the Southern Hemisphere. So second half of June. Summer solstice typically on June 21st or 22nd, second half of the month. So direct answer here, option B. Same type of question was asked in 23 after it was asked in 2022, my friends. With respect to impact of solar flares, concept asked with application in 2022. If a major solar storm, right, solar flares reaches the earth, which of the following are possible effect of the earth? GPS and navigation system might get affected. Yes, that radiation might affect the chips in GPS and navigation system. Tsunamis at equatorial region occur. Tsunamis is not caused by solar flares but tectonic earthquake, okay, tectonic movements in the earth plates. Power grid damage can happen. Yes, it can damage the chips like I told in navigational failure. Intense aurora over much of the earth. Yes, aurora occurs when the earth's magnetic field interacts with the solar systems, okay, solar flares. So this concept is basic. Then forest fires over much of the planet. Forest fire is not directly linked with solar flare because solar flare will not affect the terrestrial, okay, life or Earth's atmosphere within the troposphere. It will go and attack the Earth's magnetic field and magnetic field will deflect it, and that's why you will be able to see much of the light, northern lights, okay, auroras. Orbit of the satellite could be disturbed because satellite are not there in troposphere, right? They are 300-350 kilometer, even if low altitude satellites are there. Shortwave radio communication of the aircraft flying over polar region could be also interrupted, and could be whenever there is possibility, normally it will be right. And the extreme statement, and these are not caused by solar flares. Tectonic tsunamis are by tectonic earthquakes in ocean mainly, and forest fires for different reasons. So 2 and 5 are wrong. Out of 7, it is 5 pairs. Here, remove 2 and 7. 2, 7, 2, 7. Sorry, remove 2 and 5. 2, this also is not there. This also is not there. All of them is not there. Here, 2 and 5 are not there. So answer is option C. Very easy. Again, with respect to atmospheric composition and the properties. With respect to albedo, you should know what is albedo. Please put it in the comment section what is albedo. Consider the following statements. High clouds primarily reflect solar radiation, again with respect to which clouds will do which, and cool the surface of the earth. Low clouds have a high absorption of infrared radiation emanating from the earth's surface and thus cause warming effect. High clouds primarily reflect solar radiation and cool the surface of the earth. Is it right? No, this is this work, this is this work. Again, UPSC swapped it. Same concept with respect to atmospheric composition, atmospheric heating, UPSC swapped it. So, 1 is wrong, 2 is wrong. Why? Because high clouds, which are cirrus clouds or thin clouds, are thin and trap infrared, causing warming. And low clouds, stratus clouds, okay, are thick and reflect solar radiation, causing cooling. So, high clouds, thin, causes warming, and low clouds, thick and reflect the solar radiation. These are thin and trap the infrared. They allow the light rays, and when they come, they trap infrared. Okay. Low clouds are thick and reflect the solar radiation, causing cooling. The basic concepts of, again, geography with respect to atmospheric heating. Again, atmospheric heating in oceanology, ocean temperature and wind influence, ocean heating. Consider the following statement. In the tropical zone, the western section of the ocean are warmer than the eastern section owing to the influence of trade winds. Okay, geography linked with mapping how wind system, how ocean currents are working. In the temperate zone, westerlies make the eastern section of the ocean warmer than the western sections. Yes, this is also correct. So please see the map. Please see how westerlies and how ocean currents plays an important role in keeping the some of the navigation choke points open, navigation points open. Okay, questions have come with respect to this. So, trade winds push warm water west in the tropic. In temperate zone, westerlies push water east. Example, North Atlantic drift. That's why some of the ports of UK, Britain are open 365 days during intense winter also. So, both 1 and 2 are correct. Some of the ports of Norway, Britain are open because of the wind like North Atlantic drift. The warm ocean current will open those channels, okay, in the winter also. Now, again with respect to wind system, permanent winds, I told about jet streams we saw in the previous slides with respect to Coriolis wind. Now with respect to jet stream linked with cyclone. How? Cyclones. So jet streams occur in northern hemisphere only. Is it true? They are permanent winds and they occur both in northern and southern hemisphere. Only some cyclone develop an high. Okay? High is a low pressure area, right? Only tropical cyclones will do. So some cyclones develop, yes, tropical will develop. Temperate cyclones will develop front. Okay? The temperature inside the eye of a cyclone is nearly 10 degrees Celsius lesser than that of surroundings. Is this true? No. Statement 3 is also wrong. Here only second statement is right. Why? Jet streams, both hemisphere, the eye has sinking air, making it warmer, not cooler. So temperature, whenever there is a low pressure, temperature will be inversely proportional. Temperature is high. Right? Pressure is inversely proportional to temperature. This is a low pressure area and the high is warmer, not cooler. So only intense tropical cyclone develop an high, not temperate cyclones. So this is with respect to cyclones and jet stream linked question and application question. So only 2 is right here. So I hope almost 21-22 questions have come in last 5 years. 4 to 5 question is coming from this unit alone, from this theme alone. So make sure, and the concepts are repeated. So make sure you understand this concept, revise well, see how UPSC is keeping the traps. Okay, mainly swapping of the concepts. So In the next class, we'll come up with another theme of geography. Till then, keep revising and all the best. Study well.